So like, do you still remember, like, if in the beginning were you worried or afraid because of the language thing, or not? For you, that was never.
For sure, bro. For sure, I was, but I wasn't like.
I like to ask that because that's a common question, even among my students, for example. Oh, teacher, but okay, here in the class I speak well, but if I travel or when I travel, how is my English level? They are afraid to really understand, And I usually say, like, okay, that's normal, of course. It will be a challenge, a new challenge. You talk to a native. It's completely different from me speaking English, of course. That's how.
Okay, so we can separate your question in 2 points. The first,
Okay.
it's how uncomfortable or how afraid you are in a new place to discover. And the second, that I guess that's more the point that you want to know, it's how the English, how comfortable you are with your own English, like how you can speak with in a place that, I guess that's the point of this question.
Yes, great.
About the English, bro, to be honest, I was really comfortable because I already had a good level of English and already been in some English courses first.
Nice.
But the one thing that I really need to say to everyone, and I say other people, usually people, the non-natives don't speak English well, bro. We ask so much about or about ourselves.
We charge
Because
ourselves.
you charge yourselves, exactly, because man, it's, if you are native, okay, you are native, but if you are not, okay, you will say something wrong, and the most important thing is just communicate, It's really hard to me to find a person that speaks English very, very, very well. And the only exceptions that I can see easily too, that's you will find easier if you find a person from Denmark or from Norway, and they speak English better than most of the times. They speak better than even the native. It's because I guess that their education is really good, and they don't have they don't use these slangs. So like this kind of Nordic countries that they have, they spend a lot of money for education, and they learn English like a really second language, or maybe even sometimes even the first. They speak really well, but the others, bro, no, you will talk to a French guy, they will have a really strong accent because the French is a language that you speak with accent, the French language. So when the guy that's born in France, and they start speaking English, they will bring this accent too, and sometimes it's really hard, bro, to understand. But what's the point? If you are, independent of the level, all the people are in the same situation than you, usually. So the most important, people don't care about your level. People want to talk to you, How do you want to flirt with the girl, with the boy? It's the most important thing. The guys don't care about if you are saying I was or I were, if it's wrong, I am or I yes. They don't care about that.
Exactly, and that's the point actually, that most of my students, actually I can say that all of my students that they already traveled, they always say that, of course, like the most difficult, it's really to, depending where you go, like to really understand the accent, of who is talking to them. But even so, that's something that I always say too. It's like, it's common for time of adapting, Maybe like 1 day, 2 days, you are talking to the same person, for example, you get used with the accent, And then I have students like they already traveled to study, to work out in other countries, and they are happy, because they understand that it's not the point like you have to speak perfectly or our accent has to be like native. No, actually not. You have to be understood and understand who are talking to you. And I guess that's the point, of course.